Alright, what's going on, everybody? So what we're doing today is we're going to be installing these bad boys right here. Now, I know these are plastic, but they have their own little compressor. You'll see more of what I'm talking about when I get them out of the box, but I am recording this on my phone, so I have to put the phone down, so I just stop recording and this, that, and the other. Just bear with me. Let's see, I'm going to show you what I already have under the passenger side here. Aha, right here. This may be the exact same horn. I'm not really sure. My grandfather bought it for me about a year ago. Let's scoot way back. Here we go. But this is, don't touch that. Okay, this is a plastic horn here. And it, like I said, it's got its own compressor now. I have the black. I have this black tube here. The one for those horns is clear. This one was originally clear, but you see how it's covered in mud. This is apparently a really bad spot because mud still manages to get up inside the horn and gums up back here. And I believe this has been gummed up. So I'm going to try, like I said, try to take this all off and redo it. I mean, you see even my ground wire is covered in mud. I'm not sure how I can, like, try to keep it going, but this is just a bad spot to put it. And, like, it really worked out because this is mounted to the same bolts as my step side piece there, that little thing. So I thought it was a great idea. And then the holes are already here for the horns. Like, I didn't have to drill anything, so everything was just already there. So I thought this would be a great spot, but it is obviously not. So we're going to try to redo all this. But while I'm doing all this, I'm also changing my oil, and I got to wait for everything to cool down because everything is extremely hot underneath here. Anyway, the other two horns, I'm going to try to put one on the back bumper, or under, like in the back bumper, kind of like this one is inside the frame. I'm going to try to put that one inside the back bumper and the other one inside the front bumper. So, we will see how it goes. And everything will be wired to here. It looks a little bit messy. I'm going to try to clean this up also. You see all my wires run through here. Real shitbox nation type stuff. Which is the way I like it. But we also have this second battery over here. But now this is mostly for running the subwoofers back there. The cables, or the wires that you see that are on here, is actually for the meter that I have inside the truck. So I can make sure it stays charged and everything. But anyway, I'm going to take these out of the box and really show y'all what we got. I'll be back with you. Okay, so this is what you have outside of the box. Now, ignore that. The wire does not come with it. Just what you see in this little pile here. This is the box it comes in, as you just seen. There's the horn, and it is come wrapped in this plastic. I just didn't pull it back down. The compressor comes wrapped in bubble wrap. Like I said, it was a clear tube, and it comes with all of the bolts that you will need, and then little... I can't think of what those are called at the moment, but it's fine. Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. And it even comes with its own little fuse. It's called a fuse relay. So if you want to, like the instructions, if you actually follow the instructions, it tells you to hook it up to the actual horn of the truck. And I'm not doing that. I have a horn on the truck, obviously, that I would prefer to use. In like an everyday situation, like if I'm just trying to say, you know, you're good to somebody, I don't want to blow this loud ass shit. I just want to kind of go boop boop on the regular horn. Here I have taken everything out of its packaging. So this is the compressor here. It's, whoa, more lights just came on in the shop. That's cool. So as you see, it's only got one mounting spot. That's kind of crappy, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It works really great. And I'm only comparing it to what I have hooked up to the truck now. As long as it doesn't get covered in mud and mess up your electrical, it all works pretty great. And so what I'm gonna do really quick is I'm gonna hook this one up to the truck, just right up to the battery here, so I can blow it and y'all can really see how loud it is. And I'm gonna hurt my own eardrums. I just know it's gonna hurt, but because I did it probably 3 times when I was hooking up that other one, trying to get it all wired together. This is the little switch that I'm going to use. You'll see where I'm mounting that. The other horn I have kind of, you know, redneck rigged, as you see here. And the reason I want to get rid of this is, like, I love the little blue light on it. My brothers always tried to pick on me and say it looked like I had NOS hooked up to the truck, which I will never have that hooked up to this thing. Not in my little shit box. But it looks very shitty. I have the bottom portion of this, and I can't put it back on because of all this. And if I pull this down, come on, you'll see electrical tape where where I drilled a hole here thinking I could mount it here, but then the wires would not allow the switch to be mounted over here. So I'm getting rid of all that, and I'll just throw a piece of electrical tape there so it won't look too bad when you're just getting a glimpse. If you come up here and actually look at the truck, you'll be like, that looks pretty shitty, but it's fine. I'm going to be hooking the horn up here. I want to try to get it up to the close to the top so I have more room to hook up more shit, but that may not happen. It may have to go in the middle. It may have to go down here. I don't know yet. We'll see. All right, so I'll be right back with you as soon as I get this horn hooked up to the battery. Okay, so now we have everything wired up somewhat. As you see, it's just kind of stuck in there. Let me just find a ground, and y'all will see just how loud this bitch is. Oh, geez. I don't know if this is going to work as a ground, but let's find out. Jesus! It scared the shit out of me. But anyway, that is about how loud they are. I can try to do it one more time for you. Let me set the phone down for just a second, because it did move the compressor when it blew. Okay, so I'm gonna try. Let's hold this here. I'm not gonna show it blowing, because all you're trying to do is hear it. Where'd my ground wire go? There she be. All right, here we go again. Hopefully I won't jump this time. So we know she's working, but that's how loud they are. Quite scary. And now I'm gonna have at least 2 of them working, one on the front of the truck and one on the back of the truck. So when people cut me off, I can really let them have it. But hopefully I'll have up to 3 of them, one also on the passenger side. And if all goes well, I may even throw one on the driver's side, and we'll have 4 on this bad puppy. Boy, I hope I don't get a ticket for this. Anyway, see y'all in a bit once I get stuff mounted. All right, so this is what we have so far. It's only taken me an hour and a half, but underneath the front bumper, we have the horn. I have 1 bolt on the front, which it only asks for 1 bolt, and I have 1 bolt in the back. Now it asks for 2 bolts, but even the other one I only have mounted with 1 bolt on the back, because I mean, it's plastic. It's not like it's super heavy, and I mean, I'm sitting here trying to move it right now and it's not even wiggling. She'll be fine. It's not like I do heavy off-roading or anything like that, so I'm not worried about it falling off. I have the bad little compressor there, that little bad boy mounted right there. Now, it may be kind of hard wiring it because the wires are going to be back here. I may have to actually use my phone to see which one is positive and which one's negative. But we'll get it figured out, no worries there. I'll show you. Where did I mount this one? Oh, okay. So I put these underneath the little black rubber thing. And I pretty much just took 1 bolt out because the other 2 were broken. So that way I could pull it down and get it out of the way without having to take all of them off, because they are in some precarious spots and hard to get to. But anyway, so I have them mounted like that. They should be just fine. Just fine. No big deal there. Now, I'm kind of upset at myself for not doing more paying attention on this, because my little front tag piece actually has 2 holes already drilled in the bumper for these bottom pieces, and there was no bolts in them, but yeah, there you go. You can see there's a hole on both sides, and it's actually the exact right size that I would have needed for the bolt for the compressor. But oh well, it would not go in either hole because the horn was in the way. So I drilled a hole right there, got her mounted up. So anyway, yeah, that's it inside the front bumper. I will move on now. All right, so we're going to try this again. I'm not going to blow the horn this time because I'm scared the people's house that I'm at. I'm scared their neighbors may be getting a little angry at me. But I'll crawl under here and show you my crappy wiring. Oh, let's see here. So I ended up having to take the compressor off altogether. so I could figure out which one was negative and which one was positive. But my negative is the one that you can actually see right there, and I just ran it to that bolt right there, as you can see, and it's up against the bumper underneath that washer. Lovely, lovely. And then the positive runs around the horn, and yeah, you definitely are not going to be able to see it. You couldn't see it in the last video. I don't know why I tried again. But it is away from the manifold. It's away from the fan. It's not in the way of anything because it comes up. Yeah, there you are. It comes up right there. And then comes around the battery to be connected right there. I was obviously going to just use one single cable, but I didn't make it quite long enough. So I had to connect it there, as you see. But then I run it across the engine. Now, obviously, all that's going to get cleaned up. It's all going to be sitting inside of this plastic doogamajigga, and then I'll zip tie it up here, and I'll zip tie it down there, you know, so it doesn't move around. But then down in here, it goes into the firewall, as you can see in that little bitty hole. And then it comes, let's see, it comes into the truck. Yeah, focus, there we go. Now, these are the cables that actually go to my lights on the back of the truck, but those lights don't work anymore, so I'll be cutting these and using one of them for the horn, and the other one will just be run back there for the time being, but it won't be connected to anything. So these are the cable. Well, that's only one that you can see, but there is two of them in there. That's the cable that goes up into the dashboard. It goes around the steering wheel down in there. It's out of the way of the pedals because you don't want anything to get cut. And then it comes up through here and into my button. And then if I push that button, oh boy, we get a surprise. But I'm not going to hit it because I'm scared that the neighbors may be getting a little frustrated. All right, so I'm going to work on the back piece, and I will see y'all in a bit. All right, so for the back bumper, we have a big gas can in the way, or gas tank, whatever you wish to call it. So if my phone will adapt to the sunlight back here, I don't think it is, but I'll show you anyway. I'm thinking about having to put it like on the left side or the right side specifically. Well, this side's got that light on it, so you'll be able to see this a little better. I don't know if it'll even fit. Let's grab the horn and see what we can figure out, because like I obviously want the bolts to be hidden. I don't want bolts sticking out of the back of my bumper. That would look kind of weird in my opinion. We can't just take the Reese hitch off to stick it up in here. And we also have, I mean, we got the tags, little indentation, that spot in the back bumper also. We have the horn that I showed earlier. I know that's upside down for you guys, but we have that horn on the passenger side. So I'm thinking about putting this horn on the driver's side. I don't see how I'm gonna get around that. We're just gonna have to roll with it here. But let's see if it'll fit. No, it ain't gonna fit there. Well, that's upsetting. Let's see. Oh man, it's like 6 inches too long. 3 inches maybe, but I'm thinking about 6 inches too long. Darn it. Okay, well, I'm pretty upset about that. So my next move is to put it on the driver's side. Ooh, am I gonna fit underneath all this? Love it. So on the passenger side is the other one. I guess we will put it on the... Well, I probably can't do that. I got fuel lines over here with my fuel filter. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, all kinds of upsetness. Way back here, maybe. That's my 0 gauge right there. Wire running all the way back to the amp. I could cut these. That doesn't look so trashy. Cut these zip ties. Y'all probably didn't see me just playing with that. I don't want to strap it to the body of the truck for the same reason. I just don't want bolts going through the inside of the truck. Let's see. I guess. Come on, twist. There we go. Burr. I guess that'll do it right there. See, can I zoom my arm back? Yeah. I guess that's where she's going. The other one isn't in the exact same opposite spot, but it's pretty close. I think this horn is about 3 inches backwards a little bit. I may be able to pull it forward some, but then it's going to be right up against the frame. And that was the idea of this one, that the frame would keep dirt out of the horn, but it does not. It does not. All right, well, let's get this mounted. Y'all will see the end product, okay? All right, boys and girls, this is what I've got. Now, I could not mount the compressor to one of the bolts of the step side on this side because of all the fuel lines up in the way there. So I actually mounted it to a hole that was already there still, but I had to mount it down there. And you see I've got the air tube twisted and kind of tucked up in the fuel lines. Now it's not pinched or anything. See, so should be fine. I don't think I'm going to be able to use the wires to those old lights, which sucks. I'm going to have to actually run cable, which won't be that bad. I'll just run it across the engine like the other wires that you've seen, and down the frame like this zero gauge. I'll probably even be able to tuck it into the zip ties of the zero gauge, so it'll be fine. I've had that zero gauge there for a year, maybe a year and a half now, so I know it's straight. I actually don't know how much you're supposed to change out that cable for your amplifiers and stuff. So that probably needs to be changed, but that's not what we're here for today. I did have to drill a hole for the front, and I totally forgot the grommet when I was installing the rear here. But I'm having all kinds of issues with the rear because I had to use a hole that was already there. And it's actually going for the step side right here. And before I show you, I will say that I'm going to have to get washers upon washers, or I'm going to have to get a bigger bolt. But if I get a bigger bolt, I'm going to have to drill into the base of the horn. I don't know. I will come back at a later time and do that because I do not have what I need here today. So I will show you. That is the nut for the horn. It's kind of falling into the hole of the step side. Now the step side only had 2 bolts in it in the first place. If you look over here, yeah, they didn't drill that hole to install the step side. I don't know who installed these steps, but man, they did it. They did it shitty. I'm gonna have to come back and completely redo the bolts on these step sides, which is not a problem for me because when I go to sell the truck, or if anybody asks, you know, I can say I did it all myself, and that's always fun to be able to say that. So that's the horn mounted back here. Darn, my light cable got in the way of my creeper. Anyway, that is the horn mounted and ready. We will run the wire, and I will see you in a bit. This has been a fun project. All right, everybody. So this is the finished product. Got it wired. I was able to run the wire through those zip ties of the zero gauge, like I assumed I'd be able to, all the way up the truck. You can see the zero gauge. Oh no, you actually see the actual wire for the horn there because it's nice and fresh. But that's like where the zero gauge is running up. I actually missed the zip tie now that I look at it. Hopefully I won't ever have to come back down here. Well, I guess I'll have to replace the zero gauge at one point, and then I can fix it. But, all right, let's go run a test, shall we? Now, before we hit the test up, I will show you how I wired it with, you know, like on the same button. Where you seen earlier, this is the cable for the single, and I just busted it open again and put the double in there. I don't know why my phone won't focus on it, but there it goes. Just to clarify, earlier, this was not soldered. It is now soldered down in there. So this cable, and this cable are all soldered together right about here. And then there's a shrink wrap put over it. Obviously, heated up so it would shrink. Wrapped in electrical tape, and then it's got the zip ties on it. You don't have to put zip ties. That's just my personal preference. If you see here, this is my shitty attempt at fixing a ground when I was throwing this big 3 upgrade for my alternator, and just the big 3 upgrade for the amplifier and all that shit. That ground goes to my engine block, and I don't have the tools to get down there and properly bolt the new ground. I actually have it cut and everything, like all put together in the zero gauge. I was just never able to do it. So I attached zero gauge to that ground and wrapped it like that. So here will be the test, and you're going to hear, hopefully anyway, you're going to hear the front and the driver's side horn when I hit this button. Sarah, you came at the wrong time. It's about to get loud. Okay.
I just wanted to put these. Don't let it get this back here.
All right. Don't worry about shutting the truck. Just walk on out. All right. So on this button here, let's see what happens. Oh, jeez. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They both worked. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna put the phone down here to where you can hear up close the one that's right here. Can I switch this around? Oh, no, I can just only take a picture. Okay, well, here's what I'll do. Let's see. Okay, so you'll see this horn. All right, somebody just yelled, stop that. All right, now I'm gonna get the phone down here by, where the hell did I mount this other one? Oh, I just couldn't see it. Huh, lol. I'm gonna set this one right here on the ground in front of this one, and you can see, or hear that this one is working. You can't really see air coming out of it, so I'll be right back. Oh boy, this is loud. This is so loud. All right, well, I better keep the phone sideways. I'm gonna see if I have time to take that other one down, see if I can fix it, get her working. I really hope I can. If I can't, I'm gonna be kind of upset, and I guess I'll just be replacing it altogether, because I don't want to have one on the driver's side, one on the front, and one on the passenger side, and then the passenger side not work. So if I can fix it, great, you'll see me in a bit. If I can't fix it, then I guess that's the end of this video. We'll find out. I don't know if y'all are as excited as I am about this video being back up and running. Let me get that cable out of the way. But the compressor is working just fine with my little test wires that I've got run here, and I just keep hitting them on that on the little bolt that you see that black cable on. But what was I saying? Oh, the compressor is working fine, so I know it's the horn that is hurt. Now I'm taking it apart right here. I could not find a Phillips head that was like big enough, I guess, to pop these loose. So I used trusty little flathead. I actually hate those so much, but let's pull this off, and it's got a little plastic piece. Oh yeah, look at that, it's still got mud in there. Okay, so that's probably the issue. Let me dump these screws out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, let's just, I don't know why I had to dump them out. I could have just dropped that. This is the little piece of come on, stop looking at the phone. Okay, this is the plastic that vibrates in between this, I mean, it's like a grommet, but it feels like cloth more than rubber. But it vibrates between that and that to make the honk noise. Okay, so as you can see, this is full of mud still. Gross. So I'm gonna go spray it out with a water hose, and also in case yours gets full of mud. Oh yeah, it's just dripping with water. You also need to worry about that part, because I mean, that's the part that the air is going through. So you do have to worry about that. I'm gonna spray this out with mud, or spray this out with water to try to get all the mud out, and we will see what happens. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so we got it cleaned up, but it unfortunately took out the cardboard. And by the way, the cardboard seemed like they like reused other cardboard off of other boxes or something, because like it had, I couldn't tell what the picture was, but it had some type of picture on this side of it, not on this side. You know, y'all seen this side of it. It looked like cardboard, but this side was like red and blue. And I mean, like I said, I couldn't tell what the picture was, but I knew there was some type of picture there. So what I've done back and forth, made sure everything's dry. I've taken this off and put it back on multiple times trying to get it to work. And now I went and got my compressor. So when I take the nozzle and stick it in this hole, giggity. Well, let's see if I can do that without knocking my phone off. Okay. So when I stick it in this hole, I can feel air. Yeah, you see the stuff moving all around on the ground here. It's because air is coming out of the sides of this here. And that is slowly putting more air out. Like it is leaking more and more. Oh, I see why. The hose is loose. We will worry about that later. Oh, yeah. It's actually the hose. Oh, jeez. This is not mine, folks. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong to it. Anyway, we're just going to leave it sit on the ground for the time being. Hopefully it doesn't kick on while I'm making this video. So, I don't know if I need to tighten the screws more, or if I need to stick some type of cardboard in there. I'm going to tighten the screws more and see if I can get it working. But this is all plastic, and it's got metal screws. They may be pot metal or whatever that cheap metal is, but it is metal screws on a bunch of plastic. So we will see what happens. All right. So I'm calling it here, folks. I know that's working. Here's what I've got. I took an old just piece of cardboard that I found, and it's actually got like it's got like plastic on both sides of the cardboard. I laid it on this side of it and mapped out the screw holes. I punctured the screw holes, threw it all together. It all seemed to work really well. I think I'm close to figuring it out, but I've put too much time into this horn now. Like it used to be, all you could hear was the compressor turning. Now you can hear the compressor turning and a little bit of noise through this. That's why I think I'm close. You used to not even hear anything coming out of the horn at all. I don't know. But what I did with this was I actually set it on the horn and cut it to somewhat shaping it out. And then I punctured a hole in the center and then cut out from there to be the right diameter of the inside of this horn here. Then I put it all together. And I'm actually going to show you what you hear coming out of the horn. You're probably going to hear the compressor also, but I've got the phone right next to the horn. I've actually got the horn sitting on top of the phone, so you should hear what little bit is coming out of the horn also. Alright, here we go. Alright, so if you were hearing just the compressor, let me unplug this. There we go. This is what you would hear. Actually, okay. You know what? It sounds the same. You can't really tell the difference. I had the horn next to my ear earlier. So, I know the horn is making noise, but it's not making the noise that you wanted. This horn is $20, folks. $20, $30 tops. I don't know why my phone is not. There we go. But it's just not worth the time to me to keep trying to figure this out. If anybody has any ideas, I'm open to suggestions. Very open to suggestions. Because if I can fix this, I would love to throw out a tutorial on how to fix it. But I'm pretty sure the other two horns are going to end up the same as this one. Now, I'm not going to be in mud. I'm not going to be going down any dirt roads up here where I live now. So I don't think that is a large concern of mine anymore. But if you stay on dirt roads, you're definitely going to want to mount them maybe up in the engine bay somewhere or something like that. I mean, that's everything I've got, folks. I've done my best with this horn. I'm going to keep this compressor in case my other two go out someday. But until next time, I will leave you with this. Never take a laxative and a sleeping pill on the same day or same night. Goodbye.
Y'all come back for the next video now, you hear?